Now, the conventional sources of energy, as we discussed in the previous part of the lesson, conventional and the non-conventional sources of energy. In the conventional sources of energy, we have coal, petroleum, and we have natural gas, electricity again, thermal and hydroelectricity. First, let us move on to coal. Coal has been a major chief source available for power generation in India. The coal is being explicitly used to have power generation in India from the time since we got independence. Prior to independence also, the Britishers under the colonial rule have triggered to have this power generation plant during their tenure. But later, nowadays, because of continuous decay of the plants, that has been result in the quality of the coal coming down. So which has resulted in the formation of lignite. Lignite is a low quality brown coal available for us. Lignite fields are available for us located in Neyveli in Tamil Nadu, where this coal also is being used nowadays to generate electricity. And the other negative impact what we have for us when we use coal is the thermal usage of coal leads to temperatures increase when it compares to the day-to-day temperatures, and when it gets overheated, the overheating temperature also is used in some of the factories and industries known as bituminous coal, which is giving very high temperatures for them to burn it, and it is nearly 200 million years age according to the geologists. The formation of the coal has been traced, and many of the northeastern states like Assam, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh contribute for the larger availability of coal, and even we also have in Telangana state where the Singareni coal mines are found. Jharkhand we have the coal mines, and we also have in Karnataka coal mines are present for us. So coal is a major source of power generation. Because of the continuous decay of plants and swamps, it has been resulting into a disastrous situation. The availability of the coal quality is coming down, resulting in the low brown quality of coal lignite. As we don't have any other possible alternatives in a larger scale, we are using the same lignite coal, and in the Neyveli of Tamil Nadu, which is used to generate electricity. We also have very high temperatures as an impact of usage of the coal, and it is being traced by geologists that around 200 million years would be the age of the formation of the coal from many years. And in many parts of India we find coal. That's why coal is being used explicitly and extensively for power generation. Now moving on to the next category of energy, that is in the conventional source of energy, that is petrol. Petroleum is actually known as a mineral oil also. The mineral oil actually it is being used to heaten the products as well as to lighten the products. In order to generate electricity, at the same time in order to burn some things also we use this mineral oil, and it has also been a nodal industry, a key industry for synthetic textile industries, chemical industries and the fertilizer industries, where petroleum products are also added for this. The mineral is added to make the extracts out of the industries like textile industries, chemical industries and the fertilizer industries. We also have on the layers which are oil is found, and the above layers we have gas. As it has light weight, the gas layers are found above the oil layers, and these both are found under the layers of the rocks which are sandy, and where it is having porous layers, where porous means holes. When the holes are present, the oil gets filled into that rocks. So the non-porous layers would be a good rock to get petroleum product outside from that rocks. And in India we have 63% of the petroleum available from the Mumbai High located in the Arabian Sea, and 16% from the northeastern state of Assam, where the Digboy plant is being established, the petroleum plant is being established. So petroleum, the most important mineral oil which is used to heat and lightening the products, where it has also been a main nodal industry for the industries which are associated with this one, like the synthetic textile industries, chemical industries, fertilizer industries, and we also have petroleum gas available for us with the less weight when compared to oil. So above layers of the oil layers we find the petroleum layers, and we have in India 63% of the requirements of India are fulfilled by the Mumbai High, which is located in the Arabian Sea, and in the Digboy plant of petroleum, where 16% of the India's requirement are derived from Assam, from this region. And next, moving on to the natural gases. natural gas is the most economical friendly or eco-friendly gas or eco-friendly energy, which we say that environmental friendly energy also. The only and only gas which is environmentally friendly, and we also have economical friendly, which is used as a clean energy, because you get petrol mixed with some products, you get coal which is non-renewable energy, whereas natural gas you don't have any negative implications, where high temperatures has a negative effect of coal, and here you have the porous rocks which take away the oils, and we have the possibility like petrol may get into exhaustible state, whereas natural gases where clean energy, safe energy, and which is used in the raw materials, which is an environmental friendly energy. In India, especially for us in Andhra region, we have in the KG basin we have found this one, and nowadays many of the vehicles, instead of using petrol and diesel, now they are moving on to have the CNG vehicles where the compressed natural gas is used, and it is of very low noise, whereas it is also contributing for reduction of the sound pollution on a very larger scale. That's why natural gas is also known as a clean energy, as well as it is used for raw material in many industries. It is an environmental friendly one, and it is also economically very good and competitive for the nowadays, in the modern days, to use this one. So the location of this region of energy resource is found in KG basin in Andhra region, and is also the compressed natural gas has been derived from the natural gases, where it is being a viable possible alternative and a good alternative for petroleum in the products of diesel for the vehicles. And moving on to the electricity, thermal and the hydroelectricity. Electricity is generation of electricity from the electrons, or flow of energy is called electricity, where when we are generating electricity using coal, petrol, natural gas, it is called thermal electricity, whereas when you are generating electricity with the flow of water, it is called hydroelectricity. Moving on to thermal and the hydroelectricity, the energy when it is produced using the coal, petrol, natural gas, it is called as thermal electricity. When it is generated using the flow of water, then it is called hydroelectricity. In India, we have nearly 310 power plants coming under the category of thermal power plants, whereas in hydro we have very few, like Damodar Valley Corporation, then Kapikara hydro power projects, which are very less in number, but they are also known as multi-purpose projects. So the conventional type of sources of energy or conventional sources of energies are coal, petroleum, natural gas and electricity. Coal is used for power generation, petroleum is also used for power generation, natural gas is also used for power generation, and electricity obviously for generating electricity. Decaying of the plants is resulting in the loss for the coal, whereas low quality of coal is being emerged, ignite, where we don't have any other possible viable alternative. We started to use the same low quality of coal, and in Tamil Nadu, in the place called Neyveli, where electricity has been generated from that place, the negative implication of usage of coal is that we have a possibility of increasing of temperatures when we use coal more. When we talk about the mineral oil, the petroleum, where it is being a nodal industry and adding up for the industries or advantage for the industries like synthetic chemical industries or textile industries, chemical industries, fertilizer industries. Gas is also available for us, petrol gas at upper layers of the oil, whereas 63% of the India requirements are derived from Mumbai High in the Arabian Sea, and 16% from the northeastern state Assam at the Digboi petroleum plant. And we also have the natural gas, the most environmental friendly gas, clean gas, which is available as an energy for us and a raw material for us. This is available for us in the region of Krishna Godavari basin, where it is being also generating CNG, compressed natural gas, which has been a viable alternative for the petrol and diesel. Nowadays many of the vehicles are using CNG. And now moving on to electricity. In electricity we have again two categories or bifurcation basing on the sources which are used to generate electricity. One is coal, petrol, natural gas come under the category of thermal electricity, while flow of water is being used as source for generating electricity, then it is called hydroelectricity. In India we have nearly 310 thermal power plants, whereas very few hydro power plants. These are the different categories of conventional sources of energy. Now let us find out what are the non-conventional sources of energy. Now, as we discussed prior to this, the conventional sources of energy, Now we shall throw light on the non-conventional sources of energy. The non-conventional sources of energies are, as we discussed earlier, the nuclear energy or the atomic energy, the solar energy, the wind energy, the biogas, as well as the tidal energy and geothermal energy. Now, nuclear energy. How is an energy derived from the nuclear sources? Nuclear energy means from the nucleus you have an atom, where atom, when it releases certain amount of heat energy. Using this heat energy or the atomic energy, we can generate electric power. This breaking of the atoms would result in the release of the exhaustive heat that is used to generate electricity. This kind of breaking of atoms can be happened between the elements like uranium and thorium. These two are available abundantly in Jharkhand, which are resulting for us to have a viable possible alternative of nuclear energy. India is a country where it is blessed with heavy sunlight and huge water, waves, tides and abundant insolation energy and availability of various nuclear elements which can react and generate electricity for us. So, nuclear energy can be generated by breaking the atoms. When the atoms are released, you get heat energy. Using this heat energy, we can generate electric power. The elements which can contribute for the contribution of or for the extraction of nuclear energy are uranium and thorium, where we have in Jharkhand. These are available in large number. Nowadays, we are planning in Tamil Nadu with the cooperation and collaboration of USSR government or the Russian government, the Kundalkulam power project or nuclear power project to be established on the edge of Chennai or in the Tamil Nadu coast, where we are having to have a new nuclear power plant to meet the requirements of India of the modern day times. Now moving on to solar energy. Solar energy. Solar energy, India has been basically located with the latitudes of 8 degrees north to 37 degrees north of the northern hemisphere. We all know that 0 is the equatorial point and 23.5 is the tropical point. India has been coming under the category of tropical countries. So, it is clearly evident for all of us that India receives a huge and bulk amount of sun rays. So, that would actually add upon for the tropical country to be getting huge amount of solar energy. And this solar energy is a clean energy as in natural gas energy. And this has been a great trendset example when the largest solar power plant was established at Madhapur in the Bhuj, where it is being used to sterilize the milk cans to make them always be hot, and this has been a very environmental friendly energy available for us, and nowadays the most viable possible alternative for all the countries in the world, especially who can have a possibility of getting sun rays in huge amount, is the solar energy. After the nuclear energy, the most famous energy is solar energy, because nowadays, yes, there are some negative implications like solar energy is too costly to keep, and when the sun rays are not efficient or sufficient to get, then it is difficult to maintain that. But still, the most viable alternative for today's thermal electricity is solar energy. The next possible alternative is wind. India is having a huge wind power. So, India is also called as wind superpower country, where we have huge wind power available for us, and two projects are established from the wind large landmark where Nagarcoil to Madurai, wind fans are kept for us, and this is located in Tamil Nadu, and in Rajasthan also we have at Jaisalmer, where the best use of the wind energy has been made on a very larger scale to derive electricity from this one, and this also being a contributed natural energy without getting any negative implications on the environment. Moving on to biogas. In biogas, the waste has been decomposed or in the organic matter, which results for them to establish the gobar gas plants in the rural India, which are all very famous in India, using the cow dung, manure and everything. That results in the generation of electricity, which is also a possible viable alternative, because where the dust or the waste is not being thrown somewhere else and the land is getting spoiled, instead of it is recycled to generate a good electricity, where two things are being managed very positively and very clearly. That's why biogas also has been a very good suggested alternative when compared to thermal electricities. And moving on to the very crucial electricities, that is the tidal electricity and the geothermal electricity. In the tidal electricity, the tides of the oceans are being targeted, and then the water which is collecting in the form of tide, when we get high tides, the floodgates are being placed, and in these floodgates the high tide water has been collected. Once the high tide rises up, the water which is coming in the high tide will be collected, and once the empty water leaves off, the high tide water which is collected will be released through a pipeline which is coming with a very huge force that makes the turbines to rotate with a heavy speed. When the turbines are rotating with heavy speed, that would automatically result in the generation of electricity. That is called the tidal energy. The tides have very huge force with them, so they generate huge electricity for us. This is very good alternative at the places where we have the ocean tides available for us, like at the Gulf of Kachach. In 900 megawatts of electric power plant has been established by National Hydro Power Corporation, which is being a very good sign for a growing country like India. And moving on to the last category of non-conventional sources of energy, that is geothermal energy. Geo means earth. Under the earth there is energy. Yes, we all know that under the earth we have the heat capacity of the earth. When we are going down into the deep of the earth, we find that the temperatures are increasing. When we are going above the earth, the temperatures are decreasing. When we are going below the earth, the temperature is increasing. When the temperatures increase to a very larger extent, there the underground layers of water get disappeared. The rocks will be very hot. Once the rocks get very hot, when the energy is being brought to land, that would result in the form of steam. This steam will be collected and it will be used on the turbines, which makes the turbines to rotate with a great speed, automatically resulting in the driving of the turbines results for the generation of electricity. In this, two project or like pilot based projects are established at Himachal Pradesh and in Ladakh regions. Only two are established in our country, the geothermal plants. But India should be always concentrating on these non-conventional sources of energies like nuclear energy, where we have no destruction to the nature, where solar, where it's available abundantly for us, wind, India is a wind superpower country, then biogas, where India has naturally used many of the organic material in its day-to-day life in the rural India and in the urban India, which can result in the establishment of gobar gas plants in every rural village. This could be a very possible viable alternative. And tidal energy, where we have both sides on the edges of Bay of Bengal as well as on the Arabian Sea, we can use these waves for us to get energy for us. And then geothermal energy, India is obviously, we know that India is a very hot country, so underground layers are filled with heat energy. We can bring that heat energy into the land and convert it into steam and use that one in possible ways. So India is a country where the low energy level country or low efficient country in terms of energy, because India has been always concentrating on the thermal energy or the hydropower plant energy and has never used any viable options on a larger scale like nuclear, solar, wind, biogas, the tidal or the geothermal energies, to bring them as an alternative sources of energy. Maybe economic terms could be some of the restrictions, but still in the growing nature and the growing harm to the environment or hazard to the environment, we need that it is a need of the hour that India need to concentrate on the framing of the energy on the terms of non-conventional sources and leaving aside the conventional sources of energy to a very restricted entry, because they have to concentrate more on the non-conventional sources of energy development rather than improving conventional source of energy on a larger scale. So that percentage should be reduced and this percentage should be increased. Then India can get to a possible alternative and can be termed as a energy efficient country. And during this period, when the environmental degradation is going on in a very high rate, you can use all the environmental sources which are available for us without causing any harm for the environment, so that the plants and the trees, which also results in the global warming, can be reduced. Our India can contribute with development as well as for the economical growth and also in the environmental growth also, shaping the country's temperature to be coming down on a larger scale. These all possibilities could be result, and we all need to remember under the line saying that energy saved is energy produced. We cannot destroy the energy, like we cannot say that energy used unconditionally and without saving energy you can't expect energy can be produced in a larger scale. So we need to remember the point under the line that energy saved is energy produced. That should be the main understanding of India changing from the non-conventional, from the conventional type of energy produces to non-conventional type of energy, and also making India a bright and efficient country, energy country in the world.